Hi, I'm Evan Johnson, and I'm reviewing the Oscars. I know I'm a little late. Life got in the way, so I'm doing it now at like 10 at night. Different setup, I know. I'm not out for the one sentence reviews set, so let's get started. I am going to be going off of the default listing on the Oscars site. So how this is going to work is I'm going to go category by category, and I'm going to talk about the winners, whether I agree with that choice or not, and what I would have chosen. And what I predicted, of course. So it's just going to be an overview. So it's going to be quite rambly. It's not scripted. This isn't scripted at all, so it's going to be quite rambly. So forgive me. So first up, we have actor in a leading role, Brendan Fraser for The Whale. I will say I have not seen The Whale. I hear mixed things. Honestly, my prediction was Austin Butler, because biopics are normally a safe pick for best actor. So I was definitely thinking Austin Butler, and that was probably my choice. Colin Farrell was very good in Banshees of Inisherin, but I didn't think he was gonna win. I haven't seen After Sun or Living, so that kind of puts those out of the running. Brendan Fraser, good for him, happy for him. Actor in a supporting role, Ke Huy Quan. Hopefully I got that right. Very much deserving. Oh my god, he's so good in Everything Everywhere All at Once. He was my favorite character. I'm sure he was your favorite character. If you've seen the film, go and watch it for him alone. I mean, Michelle Yeoh and Stephanie Hsu and Jamie Lee Curtis are all great, but Ke Huy Quan, love that man, and I am so excited to see what he does next, which is supposedly Loki season 2. Other nominees were Brendan Gleeson, also thought he was very good in Banshees. We have Brian Tyree Henry for Causeway, which I want to see. I'm a big fan of his from Atlanta, so I am just very excited when he's in a project. Judd Hirsch, if Ke Huy Quan wasn't as good as he is, I definitely would have chosen Judd Hirsch. Barry Keoghan I thought was also very good, but again, you cannot beat the optimism, the joy, the seriousness, at times suaveness, the just genuine performance that Ke Huy Quan gave. It is a performance of a lifetime, so very happy with that. And yes, I'm pulling these up on my phone, and yes, I'm charging my phone. It's 10 at night, leave me alone. Actress in a leading role, Michelle Yeoh. I was personally rooting for either Michelle Yeoh or Michelle Williams, but I'm just a Fabelman's fanboy. I'm also kind of a Spielberg fanboy. Let's just go over the other ones. I've not seen To Leslie, so Andrea Riseborough. Apparently there's some controversy with her. I never fully learned what the controversy was, so Michelle Williams, of course, was fantastic, and she was my other pick. I knew Michelle Yeoh was going to win it, though. Ana de Armas, I have not seen Blonde yet. I hear she's good in it, but I hear Blonde is not great. And Cate Blanchett. So, I liked Cate Blanchett in that movie, but I do not like Tar. I think Tar is very well made and very well acted. As I said in my one sentence review, I didn't feel much. I felt as if it was too long, and that in some parts it was drawn out for the sake of being drawn out. I don't know. Honestly, at the end of the day, it just didn't do anything for me. Even though it was well crafted, it just wasn't my thing. Cate Blanchett was great though, but I'm very glad Michelle Yeoh won over Cate. Actress in a supporting role, Jamie Lee Curtis. I was personally rooting for Stephanie Hsu. I thought Stephanie Hsu had the much stronger performance. Stephanie Hsu, alongside Michelle Yeoh, almost brought me to tears. Anytime I see the parking lot scene, no matter the setting, I'm almost brought to tears. Every single time. And every single time, I'm closer and closer to tears. So, next time I watch it, I will probably burst out sobbing. My other pick was Angela Bassett. I thought she had a very, very strong performance in Wakanda Forever, and I was kind of rooting for an MCU role to get an Oscar, because I thought that would have been very cool. Jamie Lee Curtis does do a very good job. I just didn't think it was Oscar worthy. It was really funny for her to win when she had the hot dog fingers for half the movie. You know what? good for her. I'm happy for her, and I liked her acceptance speech. Going over the other ones, I've not seen The Whale, so I can't say anything about Hong Chow. I really hope I said that right. Forgive me if I didn't. Carrie Condon was also good. I don't know, I really liked her, but I didn't necessarily think it was Oscar worthy, so I'm fine with her not winning. Moving on to the first award of the night, which, by the way, I watched an hour and a half of it, and then I had to pick up my mom from the airport. So the hour and a half I watched, fantastic. The cinematography award, how they explained a trick with the camera in Orson Welles, was amazing. I really liked how fast-paced the show was. But anyways, animated feature, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Yes, this is what I was predicting, and this was my pick. It's very well crafted, dark, mature, and it feels like the most grown-up of the bunch, at least of the ones I've seen. I have seen Marcel, and Marcel, while I feel like younger kids might not appreciate it as much as older kids and some adults, I feel like the movie as a whole is more mature, even if some of the subject matter in Marcel is just as mature as Pinocchio, if that makes sense. I loved Marcel, but Pinocchio for me was just hands down my favorite. Puss in Boots, have yet to see. I will see it, don't you worry, I will review it. The Sea Beast has been on my Netflix to watch list since it came out, and I just haven't gotten to it. And Turning Red, it's not my thing. I'm finding more and more that I'm watching movies that just aren't my thing. But I'm also watching lots of movies that I really like, so you win some, you lose some. Cinematography, we have All Quiet on the Western Front, which I thought was a gorgeous film, even though not gorgeous in subject matter or in what happens is honestly absolutely terrifying. And I think between the cinematography, the performances, and the music, God, I was just on the edge of my seat the entire time. I was eating pizza during the beginning, and I felt guilty for eating pizza with how much food is in this movie, and how much they make a point of the food, which I thought was a great choice to show a physical representation outside of just the actual war itself, but like the everyday stuff. The food that the soldiers eat is all moldy. It is not good. It's stale. It's tack. And then there are these rich aristocrats and high-up officers who are eating tons of food and not even finishing it. It's very well done. Honestly, I did not see a single shot in All Quiet on the Western Front that I didn't like, so I really enjoyed this winning. I will say, James Friend, I didn't know much about him before All Quiet and before the Oscars, but when they said he got into film after seeing Alien, I'm like, that's my guy, and his suit was on point. I love Deep Blue Velvet. The other nominees: Bardo, False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths I Have Yet to See. It is on my list, however. Elvis, not my favorite looking movie, so I'm fine with it not winning. Empire of Light, it's Roger Deakins, and I didn't even know this movie came out. It's also a Sam Mendes movie, and I didn't know it even came out, so marketing must have not been great, or I must have not been paying attention. I need to go see this movie. And Tar, again, well-crafted movie. It looked really good, but costume design, Black Panther was the right choice, honestly. My prediction was Elvis, because it's a period piece and they had to replicate every single piece that Elvis wore in these times. But I really like the costumes in Wakanda Forever. I have not seen Babylon yet, but the costumes look good from the trailer. Everything Everywhere All at Once would have been a fun winner because of Jobu Tubaki's costumes, but overall, I'm glad that Wakanda Forever got it. And I have not seen Mrs. Paris, or Mrs. Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. I've not seen it. Directing, the Daniels won. Personally, I was rooting for my guy Spielberg, just because I think it would have been kind of poetic for a movie about the start of his career for him to win an Oscar for it. But I'm glad the Daniels won. The Daniels did a hell of a job with a smaller budget, and they used all the tools in their toolbox. It is a very Daniels movie, because I have seen Swiss Army Man, so I have a reference, and I've seen The Turn Down for What music video, so I have a reference of their directing style, and it's a very Daniels movie. Todd Field for Tar. Again, well-made movie. Again, it just, I didn't like it. Ruben Östlund, I believe I'm saying that right, for Triangle of Sadness. I think it was a good nominee, and I think he did a good job, but again, I was rooting for either Spielberg or Everything Everywhere. Documentary feature film. I've seen none of these. However, the acceptance speech was cool that Nalvani's wife got to give a speech. That was cool. I have not seen any of the documentary shorts. Film editing. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yes, hands down. None of the other ones came even close. I mean, Banshees, good editing. Elvis, I think parts of it are very well edited and some of it needed to be, you know, rolled back a bit. Tar, good editing. Top Gun Maverick, fantastic editing, but Everything Everywhere All at Once was perfectly edited. So, international feature, I've only seen All Quiet. I hear EO's good. And I did not know that Argentina 1985 had Pedro Pascal's sister in it, so that's cool. But All Quiet, very good. Good job, All Quiet. Make him hairstyling, The Whale won. I was sure that Elvis was gonna win. That was my prediction. My pick was the Batman, because the Batman needed more love at the Oscars. The Batman is one of the best films of 2022, so I just think it needed more love. The other nominees were All Quiet, Black Panther, The Whale, and Elvis, and The Whale won. Which, haven't seen The Whale, but the fact that the makeup's so good that you can't notice he's wearing makeup. You know, I thought he gained all that weight for the movie, but it was prosthetics. He did gain some weight, but it was prosthetics, so I think that, you know, goes to show it's very well done. Music original score. I personally think that while the Batman was snubbed, it wasn't even nominated. It was on the short list though, I believe. Or was it not? Editor of me will know. I really wish that The Fabelmans won. John Williams is only gonna get one more movie after this. Even though he's won, he has a record of some kind, or he did hold a record of some kind for Oscars won or nominated for. I do wish that he got something. But All Quiet did have a very good score, in my opinion. The was... At first, I didn't vibe with it, and then after 2 seconds of me thinking, I was like, this is perfect. Babylon, haven't seen. Banshees, good score. Everything Everywhere, good score, but I only remember one song. And then Fabelmans, first time around, I didn't really remember any of the tunes, but now I remember some of them, so. But I've seen it 3 times, so I guess that doesn't count too much. Music original song, Natu Natu was the only choice, and I forgot to mention for international feature film, the fact that RRR wasn't even nominated pisses me off. But Natu Natu is the clear choice. I mean, applause, the performance I saw was fine. Hold My Hand, I thought was also fine. Lift Me Up was good, I liked Lift Me Up, and then This Is a Life was also good. But Natu Natu was the clear choice. Now we're at Best Picture. Everything Everywhere All at Once was my pick and my prediction because the Academy finally lets sci-fi win. The Academy, over the years, has not really favored sci-fi films, or just weird films in general. There have been some exceptions, but I'm just very happy to have a weird sci-fi movie win. Also, Everything Everywhere is fantastic, and there's little to hate about it. Which is funny though, because a lot of people either love it or they think it's okay. But I think that just goes to show that no one thinks it's bad. You know, I think the people that think it's okay, it's just not their thing. But the people who love it really latch onto it. Here is my rankings of the Best Picture nominees, of my opinion. And this is just like personal, okay? I posted on my Instagram, and I will put up on screen what my rankings were the night of the Oscars. But I quickly realized that I don't agree with what I chose. So, Tar is still at the bottom, okay? I don't know, there's just something about Tar, I didn't like it. I just didn't. Women Talking, I thought was good. I hated the color palette, and yeah, I just thought it was good. It wasn't great to me, but it was good. I put Banshees at 8. and I don't agree with that anymore. I am actually going to have Elvis be an 8. I like Elvis. I think Elvis is good, and I think for the most part Elvis is palatable. Just not my favorite. I think overall Triangle of Sadness is a stronger movie. I do think it does go on a little long, but I still enjoyed the hell out of it. Also, R.I.P. Yaya. So I'm putting Tar 10, Women Talking 9, Elvis 8, Triangle of Sadness 7, Banshees at 6. Banshees, the more I think about it, the more I like it. I think it does a lot with how simple the story is. And honestly, it's a little heartbreaking, but it's also kind of cute. And it's also really pretty because it's Ireland, so. Next up is Avatar: The Way of Water. I really enjoyed Avatar: The Way of Water from a lot of standpoints. I actually really liked the runtime. I know I've complained about movies being a tad too long here and there, but this one I didn't mind because I just liked being in that world, even more so than the first one. I like this one more than the first one. I think it just had a lot more going on, even though it's still a simple story. I think the characters had a lot more going on, and it was cool to learn a new side of the Na'vi culture and get amazing VFX, which we'll get on to that in the other award. Then the rest of my list pretty much stays the same after Banshees switches to number 6. We have Top Gun Maverick, which I really wish I saw in a theater. I saw Avatar 2 in a theater, which had some children and an old dude, and then me, my dad, my brother. So that was an interesting theater experience, and it was in 3D only, which was that was the first time I've seen a 3D movie in a long time. But Top Gun, I watched it on a big TV, but I wish the screen was bigger because that is a big movie. So well made. I don't know. There were a lot of times I did not know where the real flying started and the CG ended. I did not know. It was crazy. It deserves all the praise it's been getting. I do find it funny, however, that my number 3 is All Quiet on the Western Front, because Top Gun, you know, tiny bit propaganda for the Navy. And then we have All Quiet on the Western Front, which is like the most anti-war thing. You know, it's based on the book that is very, 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 very famous for being one of the most popular anti-war stories. And it shows you the cost of everything. I know a lot of war movies do that, but I think this one did it very, very well. It is the first war movie in a while that has affected me long after watching. Everything Everywhere All at Once is my number 2. These next two, Everything Everywhere and Fabelmans, are some of my favorite movies, honestly. They have cracked my list. Everything Everywhere just has everything you'd want in a movie, plus adding its own little weird twinge to it, while also having a ton of friggin' heart, man. I just feel for every single character, while also laughing my ass off because of the ridiculous action and the quite hilarious script. This movie is seemingly not deep, and then all of a sudden is one of the deepest movies you've ever seen. The Fabelmans, I just can't get enough of. I'm gonna say The Fabelmans overall is a delightful film with sad moments due to the divorce storyline. The Fabelmans spoke to me in particular as an aspiring filmmaker who wants to make a name for himself, who wants to make things, and I have grown an immense appreciation for Steven Spielberg. I've already had an appreciation for him because of his vast amount of work and how good quality almost every single thing on it is, and it came at me at the right time, and every time I rewatch it, there's something new I can latch onto and relate to. So thank you, Steven Spielberg. Production design. All Quiet on the Western Front was very good in production design, so honestly I don't mind it winning. I just really like All Quiet. The other ones were Avatar. I see some people arguing that is it really production design because it's digital, a lot of it. I say it is. I think it's well done, so that might have been my other pick. Babylon I haven't seen, Elvis is well done, and The Fabelmans, I wouldn't have minded that one winning, so. Short film animated, I have not seen a single one of these. Short film live action. Sound, no brainer, Top Gun. I mean, All Quiet, Avatar, Batman, and Elvis all had fantastic sound, but it's Top Gun. It's freaking Top Gun, man. Visual effects, hands down Avatar. It just, I mean, the Batman, it was one of those movies that you weren't sure what was the real set and what was CG, except for maybe a couple shots. It was just very convincing. Between that and like Dune, those were very, very convincing movies. Top Gun probably would have been my actual other pick though, because again, the lines were so blurred, because I knew that they were flying in real jets. Black Panther had really good CG for the MCU. There were still some moments that were a little but I was actually impressed with the CG in that one too. And All Quiet, of course, was very well done. I mean, a lot of these picks were like top-notch stuff, but Avatar, just the amount of work that goes into it, you can't deny. You can't deny it. Best Adapted Screenplay, Women Talking won. The other nominees were All Quiet on the Western Front, Glass Onion, Living, and Top Gun Maverick. I don't blame them for picking Women Talking. It's well written. I have no strong opinions on Women Talking, so I'll just keep it to that. I don't think any of the other movies are more well written necessarily. I think like All Quiet might be about equal for me. Glass Onion too, even though Glass Onion's more of a fun movie, but I think there's still clever writing in it. And then finally, writing. Original screenplay. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Yes, yes, and yes. Yeah, and that is all of the Oscar winners and nominees. You've gotten my opinions. This video is probably going to be stupid long. It's not going to have very much editing to it though, so hopefully this doesn't take me forever to edit, and hopefully I don't get busy. Next year, I'll probably actually review the show itself. I also tried to make sure I didn't watch too many other people's opinions on the Oscars themselves, so that way I wasn't really like copying and pasting what they say. Because I find that YouTubers I watch, for instance, a lot of times I agree with them, and then sometimes I inadvertently kind of quote them. So I was trying to avoid that. So now I get to watch a lot of people's reviews of the Oscars, so that'll be fun. What do you guys think of the Oscars? What do you guys think of the movies that were picked? Let me know down in the comments. 2023 Oscars, pretty good picks. I think this is a good start for the Oscars after you know. But yeah, that was my probably long-winded opinion. Hopefully this is not too choppy. I'd like to do more like kind of just freeform videos like this, but we shall see. If you guys have any suggestions for content, let me know. I will always take suggestions. Currently, I am working on a couple of short film scripts, so I'm hoping that, you know, in the next few months I can maybe start filming those and I can maybe get those out to you. In the meantime, what's happening a lot sooner is I'm coming out with a new series called... Just kidding. You thought I'd actually reveal that to you? Yeah, no, I'm censoring that shit out. Yeah, so if you like what I do here, subscribe, like it, share it. Follow me on Instagram at hi_Evan_Johnson on Instagram. Go check out my website. It'll be in the description if you want to view some other stuff I haven't posted to YouTube. Also, if you want to hire me to do a video, that'd be cool. But yeah, that's all I got. Have a good afternoon, morning, or night, or whenever you're watching this.